Hello and welcome back, you marvelous monsters. We are here again with another issue of Marvel Canon Madness. I'm your host, Chip. I am joined tonight with one of our co hosts, only one of them, but we'll get him in here. Hey, Roy.
Hello. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Just rewatched the two What Ifs.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good, so I'm pretty stoked about
They were
them.
indeed pretty good. I was very happy with them.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. Just the two of us tonight, unfortunately, but things happen. No worries. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. It's kind of a special episode, though. We're not doing anything too fancy. It's our 25th episode. I don't know if you've been keeping count, but
That's
25.
that's a pretty big mile marker.
Yeah.
That's 2 seasons in most anime now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's cool. When we started well under a year ago, and I think at first we kind of hoped to get one out every other week, so we
Mhm.
definitely outpaced that. So pretty proud of us. Pretty proud of us.
Yeah, and I wasn't even here for the start. I mean, I came in late, and it's been a blast since I joined, and I'm so happy
Mhm.
that you and Josh invited me on to be a co-host, because I was literally just sitting in my basement watching YouTube most of the time. No, no, not
honestly,
really, but
and honestly, it feels like you've been here the whole time. We only got like 6 episodes out of the way before you joined.
mm,
Because I think you guessed it on the last episode of WandaVision and just kind of stuck around. So it's
yeah,
been,
pretty much.
yeah.
Um, it was definitely, how should I say it, fortuitous for me, because it kicked off like I had just started streaming. I got all that out of the way, and then I joined you guys for one episode, and it's like you guys, the chemistry was there, so I started doing this, and it just blossomed from there. I'm so happy that you guys invited me to the Twist My Arm podcast network.
Yes,
And
yes.
this network wouldn't be here without Josh. Um, Josh is taking a mental break this week, and at Twist My Arm, we care very much about our mental health. So, Josh, we love you, man. We'll see you soon. Thank you for everything you do. And yeah, I hope to watch more Marvel Canon Madness with you.
Yeah, there's a lot coming down the pipe too. I'm pretty stoked. I still need to see Venom. I'm
Mm-hmm.
terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I got a pirated copy, and I was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be really watchable." I watched a minute of it, and I was like, "Oh, cool, cool." Then I started watching it, and that camera just zooming in and out. I was like, "Nope, can't do it. Can't do it."
Yeah.
So nope, I have not seen Venom yet. Uh, I'm excited for Eternals, but not overly so. It's a
I
movie that
I
got
was
made.
I'll be honest, like I was I was actually very disappointed. I should have just kept my hand off my phone for like 2 weeks. Um because Facebook, Twitter, every social media platform out there was blowing it up as soon as the end credits were spoiled.
I mean,
And
it was like 2 hours after the movie got released. The spoilers
I
were up.
know that, but it's like, and they don't even try to hide it. It's not even a clickbait title anymore. It's just here's what happened.
Yeah,
It's like,
what this means.
at least give us the cushion to, see, oh hey, here's a spoiler, don't put what actually happens in the title. So now I can't even trust my phone on days that I, you know, can't go see a movie.
Right.
So, but I am super excited for what that meant. And we will talk about it as soon as we watch Venom 2.
No, definitely. It's I'm excited to see Carnage for sure. He's
I
one of my
think,
favorite villains.
yeah, I think at this point it's definitely a $5 Tuesday night movie
Hmm. Yeah.
for me,
Yeah, it's already been
because
out for a little while, so not too.
yeah, it's been out. It's already been spoiled for me. It's like I don't want to pay full price to go watch this movie now, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna go see it because the Marvel movies are most of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been amazing when it comes to actual theater presentation, which is why I was kind of sad that I had to watch Black Widow in my home, you know. But at the same time, it's like with everything going on, I didn't want to risk that.
Yeah. Honestly, I was cool with it. I was down to just start watching all the Marvel movies here in
Hmm.
my home, but I don't know. Other than Black Widow, I've seen them all in the theater, so I'm sure I'll continue that. I got to see Venom this week. I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably my next day off. I think I have D&D on Sunday, so maybe I'll go after that.
Every day is D&D with me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. But God, should we get into it? What If was
Yeah,
pretty awesome. We have the season finale. It was a two-parter.
we still have episode 8 too.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
No,
um,
we did Bro Thor.
not Bro Thor. It's the What If Ultron.
Yeah, yeah. The season finale two-parter.
Oh,
8
okay,
and 9
okay. I see.
seasons.
You're
Yep.
counting it as one episode. I'm
Oh,
counting it as
I kind of am.
two because we have a bet.
Hmm.
We have a
Oh no, I
bet.
even if it's only one episode, I feel like I lost the bet. They brought in all the characters from the earlier episodes.
Yeah,
Got the overarching villain, so I am definitely willing to concede that bet.
yeah.
Hashtag Chip was wrong.
For 15% off at the MCM merch shop. Which, yeah, TMA now has a whole lot of merch out there.
Yeah, it's
People are
pretty
buying
cool.
it. It is pretty cool. I'm happy that that's succeeding.
I like seeing happy customers posting pics with our gear on. It's pretty satisfying.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that for sure.
So where do you want to start with this episode?
I think God, you got to start at the beginning. It opens up on pretty much wiped out post-apocalyptic New York and Black Widow on a motorcycle doing her
Mhm.
thing, being chased by the drones. That was a cool scene. I liked that look for Black Widow, the her apocalypse outfit. But I think the real star was Hawkeye. Did you see
Yeah.
him just like ta 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 ta? Like, oh my god.
He went Harry Potter on the drones, man. The invisibility cloak. That's got to be some. Why hasn't he been using that in? If that's shield tech right now, this is pre Thanos, so
Yeah, just all
it's like,
casually, like got the invisibility cloak, just starts taking out a whole squad of Ultrons.
yeah, it's like, oh shit, the world's ending. I should grab tech I haven't used before.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
where was this during Thanos?
Maybe we'll see
I
it
don't
during
know.
the series. They'll bust out an
Um,
invisibility cloak.
yeah, so I think we got the recap. Did we get? I don't remember. We got a recap of what happened, with Vision not being born and Ultron taking over.
Hmm.
Um, and I think, if I'm right, um, I don't think Natasha was in that room. So when they're surrounding, getting ready to, after they've stolen that crate in Age of Ultron,
Hmm.
I don't think Nat was in that room. I thought she was kidnapped at that time, and I think it was the Maximoff twins in there.
Possibly. I'm not 100% on that actually. Hmm.
I'm fairly certain because that's the point that Wanda and Pietro realized that Ultron was kind of a douche canoe. And maybe they died before this.
Yeah, maybe. I'll have to. Gosh, I'm gonna rewatch. I'll figure that out before the next episode for sure. Huh. That is interesting.
Now that I'm thinking about it, yes, that at least Pietro was in the room, which means Wanda would have had to be there because if I remember right, Pietro did his super speed to hook all the cables up to the coffin-like thing.
Ah, touche. It's an interesting catch.
Maybe that's the prime split point.
Yeah,
maybe not. No, it would have had to be sooner because the Avengers had stolen the crate. This said that never happened.
Yeah, did not steal the crate in this timeline, and Ultron got his vision body.
Yeah.
Which lit off all the nukes, took everybody out. GG, well played.
Yeah, we got the whole apocalypse scene, which, by the way, I want to go back to episode 5, Zombies.
Mm-hmm.
If Black Widow and Hawkeye can get apocalypse gear for robots, why can they not give Spider-Man or anyone else apocalypse gear for zombies?
It's a different kind of apocalypse, man.
Okay. They don't have to worry about being bitten in this one, but they have that riot squad gear on. Okay.
See with the zombies thing, it's all about that moment of hesitation when your buddy stands up and lunges at you. That's how they always get you.
No hesitation. If my buddy gets bit, I'm just popping him in the head.
Don't worry, Roy. We got that understanding. It's all good.
Yep.
Don't even let him stand up. Like, come on. This is just good practice.
So for listeners out there, if you're ever around us and zombies are real and we get bit, no hesitation. I don't blame you. Pop me in the head.
Yep. You end the threat. Come on. Pragmatism.
Exactly.
Yep. So, so Ultron wins, takes everybody out. Natasha and Clint are
the only Avengers left. Yeah.
Yep, and they're they're in New York to start, but like, why do they dip out?
So,
because they had to Russia then.
This episode, Tony died again. Ultron killed him
every time.
So that makes me think. What episode was Doctor Strange? Was that episode 4? What if the Doctor lost his heart instead of his hands?
Yeah, it might have been 4. 4 or 5?
No, 5 was zombies. Maybe it was 6. But so this made me think about it because they were talking about Doctor Strange, his love interest in the episode, and how she was a absolute point in time, her death. It couldn't be changed. It would continuously happen. I'm starting to think that Tony Stark is a absolute point in time, that his death is inevitable, which makes Thanos' words a whole new level, by the way. But with his death being inevitable and consistently happening, we're seeing that kind of in What If.
Well, I don't know.
It's just a different point.
We've got a living Tony Stark in the universe that Gamora's plucked from, which apparently is a different episode. It's going to be in season 2. It was meant for season 1, but there were production delays because of the Rona. So,
well, and that's the thing. We didn't get the full episode, so maybe that's just a point during the episode. maybe it's not the full thing.
Maybe. I don't know.
I
We'll
don't
see.
know.
We'll see. I do think it's interesting that when we see Space Stark and Gamora, he's talking about like an armor on every planet.
And armor around the universe.
It's like my dude.
His
How you get.
Hulkbuster armor got some upgrades. It looked like some Sicarian upgrades.
Yeah, the Sakaar Buster armor. That's going to be pretty cool. I feel like that gives us a big hint about that episode. I'm betting that it's going to be like he didn't come back out of the portal during the Battle of New York when he goes through the rip in space with the nuke.
Ooh, that's a good leave off too.
Betting he doesn't come back, then he ends up on Sakaar.
But they're
captured, and that's how he meets Gamora, and he like space seduces her, and they kill off Thanos.
Well, and that's the thing too. That's actually a good one, the seduction of Gamora. But maybe we do get the Thanos snap, and Tony, while he's floating in space, ends up on Sakaar also. We don't know, because they have the gauntlet and they're getting ready to melt it down without the stones. So maybe a different defeat of Thanos happened, because what did the Watcher call her? Slayer of Thanos?
No,
something like that.
Survivor of Sakaar and daughter of Thanos.
Yeah, so it's
something crazy happened on Sakaar.
Exactly. There was a lot in this episode because they were bouncing world to world after all that. But we got Arnhem Zola returning, right?
Yeah. They make their way to Clinton and Natasha make their way to Russia after searching through some KGB files
in Siberia.
No, they go to Russia first to look through KGB files, and then they end up in Siberia, where they find Arnhem Zola in one of the Russian super soldier factories.
Okay. And you get a lot of Captain America Winter Soldier vibes off this episode. A lot of like kind of throwbacks, which we also see in the What If the Witcher Broke His Oath episode, the finale.
Yeah.
They did a good job of basically making this one parter into two parts. So yeah, it was. I'm trying to think. It's kind of hard. I'm doing this without notes.
Yeah, no, this is the episode where like Ultron Vision in flashback we see. Like, I think like out. When the episode starts, the actual Ultron / Vision isn't on planet / galaxy. I think he's in the multiverse at this point. It's just Clinton, Natasha dealing with the
drones.
Yeah, dealing with drones. And we're getting flashbacks of the Watcher telling us how it happened. Vision becomes Ultron. He takes over the planet. Thanos shows up as he does, and Vision just like insta-gibbs him, dude. Like, oh man, this is the episode where we get the just like splits him in half.
Perfectly balanced.
He's just, oh man, interesting. Zap, like, whoo.
Yeah, and I thought it was great that he cut him perfectly in half. Because it's like Thanos' whole thing is like, we need to get rid of half the population. It needs to be perfectly balanced. Well, you're cut perfectly in half.
Yep. And so Ultron has all 6 stones, and he realizes there are other worlds. And so he just, takes everybody out. Takes out the Sovereign, takes out Sakaar, takes out...
we got Korg on Sakaar. We got the Guardians on the Sovereign. Where else did he pop up? Xandar
Xandar
was
is where he
Captain
fights Captain
Marvel.
Marvel. Well, it's not really a fight.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel pushes him and he explodes the entire solar system.
Hmm.
Like nuts.
I did like the nuance of the Skynet comment that Captain Marvel made.
Hey,
You know,
Skynet, I've seen the Killer Robot movie. It didn't
yeah,
need a sequel. But the best part is that Terminator 2 is way better than the first one. So, like,
exactly.
it's just, what a solid joke.
Um, okay, so there was also, I believe, a Raiders of the Lost Ark reference to the KGB files.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it
Um,
definitely looks like that final scene.
and then we got a nod to the Black Widow movie with Red Guardian's shield as she put it on, and she made that kind of like family reference to, this looks like my color.
Yeah.
Because she's Russian.
Yep. And I think Arnhem, I forget. Oh, does Arnhem say Ivan as her dad's name? And then I don't think it's the same mom name, but I thought it was.
No, that was Peggy says that during.
Is it well Arnhem says it in the
Oh
in
yeah,
that
yeah, he
movie
does.
when
He
they
does.
first boot him up. Gosh, I gotta double check
Um,
that.
there was also a Death Star reference.
Oh yeah.
I don't think what was it? The Death Star plans are not in the main computer. Yeah. A Hawkeye's name, Francis.
Yeah. Clint Francis Barton. Francis, how did I not know that?
Yeah, it's like that's a little weird. I was named after my Meemaw.
My
It's like
Meemaw.
you're
Don't ask. Don't get into it. But they got a pretty good plan. They're gonna download Arnhem Zola and then
mhm.
upload him into Ultron as a virus to take him out. But
Yeah.
this was kind of before they realized that Ultron had all 6 stones and was like blipping around planets. At this point, the Avengers don't even really comprehend what 6 stones means. So
Yeah. Well, really, at this point, the Avengers is Clint and Natasha. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly.
we know that Thor's dead. We know Cap is dead for sure. Tony, at this point, Tony could be in space for all, or no, he kills
Tony
Tony
got
and
zapped too. Yeah,
he zapped Tony because he tells him, you've got a fragile mind or something like that. There was the last scene where they're trying to escape the Siberian bunker, which was a Civil War reference as they're working their way up.
yeah, working their way up the missile silo, which is cool.
Clint sacrifices himself to stop the incoming horde of drones.
Yeah, he has that really cool like force field arrow that he drops 1st, which is I liked that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Pretty somber death scene for him though. It's kind of sad when he tells Nat like, "I told you, I got no will anymore.
yeah.
No will to live anymore."
You got to think like Thanos snapped his family away.
Not even his family got nuked.
Well,
Ultron
no.
nuked his
I'm
family.
saying like Thanos in Infinity War snapped his family away.
Mm-hmm.
His family was murdered. Like he probably had bodies to recover, if anything. He, could have. Not saying he did, but I feel like this could have had a much more emotional impact on him than Thanos is just snapping him away.
Potentially. I feel like potentially. I don't know. I don't think in this scenario you get a chance to like deal with it emotionally at all. Like you're
Yeah.
you're one of 2 survivors in the apocalypse. You're screwed. The
Mm.
other one, like life kind of went on, and you would have had time to like deal with it and become a villain
Yeah.
and murk off a bunch of people.
And I didn't think about it, but even if Natasha and Clint were the last man and woman on Earth, Natasha can't have kids.
That's true.
So, I mean, that whole theory of the whole like Adam and Eve repopulating the Earth, there only needs to be one man and woman to recreate the population, which don't try, because then we get a whole Lannister problem. But yeah, that doesn't even work. I feel like this scene was very reminiscent of Vormir also.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because we got, instead of Clint holding Natasha, we got Natasha trying to save Clint and just let me go, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was very very similar. They definitely mirrored it very well.
Mm-hmm. We got also the fight between Watcher and, where's that next episode? I'm
No, that's
blurring the
this
episodes
episode.
because this.
No, that's this episode. This is kind of where we leave off with Clint / Nat for this episode. We don't
Mhm.
see Nat again until next episode.
Yeah.
At this point, the Watcher and Ultron are slugging it out through the multiverse, just like
Just
popping in
throwing
and out of
fists.
different universes.
Yeah. So they start flying. Yeah, you're right, because that's where we start rapidly going through universes, and the universe that he knocks Watcher in to, and he lands as he's talking to him before he beats him into the ground. Steve Rogers is being sworn in as president.
That's a pretty good universe.
Yeah.
I liked when Ultron told him, "You don't have the will." The Watcher says, "You cannot compute my will."
That's a
Bad
good line.
there. Yeah. The armor, like the Watcher's armor when he transforms, that was pretty slick. Very cool looking. I liked that a lot. It was a really cool fight scene. But Ultron definitely had the upper hand.
Which movie was it that had that they were? It was Stan Lee in outer space. He's sitting on a rock and he's talking to 3 Watchers.
I think it's Guardians 2.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, because that means there is... I know Uatu isn't the only Watcher out there, or at least of his race. Mm-hmm. Kind of makes you think, you know, who watches the Watcher? And, well...
It's supposed to be the... like the Celestials. So like maybe we'll find out some of that in Eternals.
Yeah. Because we know that the Watcher actually exists in the MCU. Not simply because of What If, but because of that scene. We saw them. We know they exist. That means, I believe, the Beyonder is real then?
Potentially. The Beyonder's like... He was like the mind behind the first Secret Wars, flipping heroes off to Battle World to slug it out against each other, which would be cool. I mean, that'd be a cool What If episode.
Well, we know, I think we're getting the Secret Wars, aren't we?
Maybe. I mean, we're getting something called Secret Wars, I believe, but I'm not sure like what it actually is going to be.
Yeah. Maybe because we know that going into the movies, we have to assemble a villain for the Avengers 4, and then there will be an Avengers 5 and an Avengers... Wait, is Endgame technically Avengers 4? Or is that one movie? How? That's a question. But I feel like that's one movie, technically, Infinity War, Endgame. But are we gonna get that? That makes you think that maybe we're gonna get what's his name? Oh, I'm Kang as Avengers 4 enemy, maybe.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
then
potentially, because he's gonna appear in the new Ant-Man. Uh,
mhm,
and then from there, like, I'm sure they won't resolve his story arc in Ant-Man.
yeah. So let's say he's the villain for Avengers 4 ish, 5 ish.
Mhm.
Um, you would have to have another big villain that's effectively going to be our Ultron. Hopefully, not as dumbed down of a movie as what we got. Um, but they're also looking at, we got big Galactus vibes during this episode.
Yeah,
Um,
we
with,
actually saw Ultron Galactus.
yeah, eating a universe. And that makes you think, we know that Fantastic Four is next phase.
Mhm.
So maybe Galactus is Avengers 5, and maybe Secret Wars is our big Avengers 6, 7 with the Beyonder as the actual big bad beyond everything.
Maybe.
That's a lot to compute, but
I mean, we gotta wedge some Silver Surfer in there at some point.
well, yeah, yeah.
I'd like to. It'd be cool to have Shadow is a fan of Silver Surfer, apparently. She's about that Silver Surfer life. It's funny. But yeah, we should have Silver Surfer on the way at some point, ideally. I would love to see another version of him on the silver screen.
Dude, I want Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom needs to be done correctly, and I think that the MCU could do him correctly.
I think so. I have heard rumors that he's going to show up. I think he's going to show up in Black Panther 2.
I'd
He's
be
going to be
down
like
for
a
that.
side villain for like Wakanda and Atlantis are at war. And then Latveria is going to be like getting involved as well, I think.
Because they want that vibranium.
Who doesn't really?
I kind of hope that we get. I would hope that maybe we get partial tease of. Hopefully, Baron Mordo comes back for Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange 2. Hopefully, he comes back for that, because that would be a good point to throw in Doctor Doom as well, because Doctor Doom is a sorcerer as well. So
It's true.
maybe an after credit scene is Baron Mordo going after Doctor Doom and getting his ass handed to him or something.
See, that's funny. I was thinking like Doctor Doom goes to Mordo for training. So
Maybe
interesting. I love that
maybe
we have
he's already
these,
trained
like,
in this
ideas.
timeline. You
Yeah,
know, for all we know, Latveria hasn't been mentioned because Doctor Doom is sitting there weaving some mass spells to hide it.
it's true. It's possible. Maybe they link Latveria and Wundagore, which is where the Darkhold came from originally.
Mm,
So maybe they do that and try and link him with some chaos magic.
there's and even if they don't go off of, um, I feel like the further we get along, the further they're going to get from comics to keep people in suspense. There's going to be a lot of teases, but I think we're going to get those fully fleshed new stories that don't have a lot of reference to comics.
Yeah, I think so. Like, and I mean, and we might get some of the little Easter eggs that reference comics, and like we might get events that are like called the same thing as comics, but they definitely are not following. They take a lot of creative license with all of them.
Yeah.
You never quite know what's going to happen.
Trying to think if anything else happened to this episode before we get to the next one. We got the end of the fight where he gets the Watcher basically pops himself out of existence and pops him into Stephen Strange's little bubble,
His
which
little
I thought,
pocket universe.
yeah, I thought, you know, the only reason I knew Strange was still around is because we saw him in commercials.
Mm-hmm.
If they hadn't aired those commercials, this would have been a great surprise that he survived by creating this pocket dimension in the swirling void that's trying to consume him, because he's literally almost all powerful now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he stands toe to toe with Ultron. With
I
the
saw those
Infinity Stones.
fantastic. There were fantastic memes where it was like the Guardians of the Multiverse at 100% power, and it was
Mhm.
all of them, and then Guardians of the Multiverse at 99% power, and it's like just Strange.
Yeah, I mean, they're not kidding.
Yeah.
He killed it. I mean, literally killed everything around him to get the power, but
Mm-hmm.
And then he makes the Watcher admit that he needs help.
Yeah.
You know, I want to hear you say it.
I need to hear you say it.
Yeah. It's just the undertones.
I don't know. I almost feel like the Watcher's been going there and chatting him up this whole time. Like, he didn't seem surprised to see him there, almost as if he had been blipping in and out. Like, I don't know.
Or he could just hear him narrating, because
Possibly.
he heard him in the Doctor Strange episode.
He did. He was close to that level, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he kind of proved that.
So what do we want to do, a rating as a whole for the finale, or just each episode? Because it's still an episode.
Yeah, I mean, it was its own episode. I really enjoyed it. I would say, like, this episode I would give like a 9. Just because, like, you know, I feel like very clearly the next one was better than this one, but this one was still really good. So
it was good. I don't know if I'd give it a 9 though. I'm gonna give it an 8. Actually,
that's fine. I'm usually more generous than you guys.
Yeah, right. So I guess my only issues with the episode is there was a lot of character buildup and everything. The scenes were great. There was a lot of context to everything. Maybe I do have to give it a 9. I'm going to agree with you. I was going to give it an 8 because I didn't feel like it was as good as some of the other episodes in the series. But at the same time, it did a great job of setting up the next episode. So, yeah, I'm going to go with a 9, actually.
9 drones. Good. Yeah. Oh man. And then that season finale, that was like chef's kiss for me. That episode was so good. The fight scene at the end, collecting all the characters, that was pretty awesome. Pretty cool. Like, I really liked this episode. It starts off with us collecting Captain Carter. And if you notice, her outfit is the same, like, all blue stealthy suit that Captain America wore in the second movie. So they're like having her follow his storyline as well, like even down to the same uniform. That's where that movie started off, was with them on the Lemurian star. So it's pretty cool that like her universe is unfolding pretty much the same way, just with her instead of Steve Rogers.
But she's giving Crossbones a speech at the beginning. I believe Crossbones, Frank Gorilla was the one that was giving the speech to Cap at that scene.
Oh.
So I think that's a difference there. Maybe we didn't get Crossbones in this world.
Yeah, no. Well,
I mean, and Bartok, Bartok looks slightly African American in this episode too.
He looked a little different than he did in the live action for sure.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely kept up with pace with Peggy.
Yeah, as he does with Steve. Like he kind of gave Steve a run for his money.
Well, yeah, in the comics, he's like an Olympic level martial artist and also just athlete in general.
Mm-hmm.
So it's understandable that he could, but one good boot to the chest would, cave him in, I would think.
I would think. I really liked when they grab Star-Lord T'Challa, and it's like they're having a battle with Ego, like over Peter Quill, who's just like Burger Boy at this point. So that was pretty cool. That it, because his episode ended that way, so I thought it was nice that they like pick up there and you see like that unfolding.
Oh
Nice
yeah, each one of them had different reactions to the Watcher when he pops up too. Like Peggy was like, "Hey, what is that?" Like she's trying to fool Bartok, and Bartok's just like frozen at that point.
You think I'm gonna fall for that?
We also got so Guardians of the Galaxy 2, we got the Dairy Queen scene, the blue mass that started growing on Earth, which is what was happening here. So it was a good parallel to see that.
Well, Ego had to come to Earth to collect Quill in this one.
Yeah.
The Ravagers didn't bring him to him. So he wasn't, didn't take him into space anyway, so that he didn't link up with them there.
So I just realized the Nidavar, is that how you say it? The star scene. Yeah, Nidavellar. That scene happens in this one, not the other one, I believe. Right? Because this is where they pick up Gamora. We didn't see Gamora in the first portion.
Right. This is where they grab Gamora as well.
And
this is with Stark. The Watcher's like, not you, Stark.
Not you, yeah. And it's like a big slap to Stark's ego. We also got Peter Dinklage's Ertai back, but I don't know. He didn't say any lines during this, so I don't think it mattered. But we saw them breaking down the gauntlet. They didn't seem as surprised by the Watcher popping up.
Well, I thought it was funny, like Stark's talking about like there's definitely going to be some like next big bad that lurks in the shadows, and she like catches the reflection in the armor or whatever.
Oh yeah. So we got Peggy picked up first. We got T'Challa picked up next. Then we got Gamora. Killmonger was next, you said?
I believe so.
Thor was the last one, yeah.
Yeah. Killmonger was next, and he's like, things aren't going well for him, apparently. Pepper Potts and Shuri are on their way to like try to arrest him, but I don't know if that would have gone well for them.
Pepper, I believe, stormed into the room. I think she was using the gun that Coulson used on Loki. It looked really familiar, so it would make sense that they'd throw that Easter egg in there if that's what it was. Yeah, and we saw young Shuri with her gauntlets. So she had those made way before like Infinity War and everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The Dora Milaje knew about it and turned, and Killmonger was, doing the stereotypical watching the city burn from the tower on high. Yeah. And I like how the Watcher called him Tony Stark's protege and killer, and that's what he's known for. Not, all the other achievements. It's nope, you killed Tony Stark. You're good by me.
Right.
That's why I
It's like
need
that's
you.
all that's important to the watcher. Hey man, you took out Tony Stark. That's a good job. That's a good job.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that guy.
Then we pop over to Thor, who is ignoring the Watcher.
Having way too much fun killing robots.
Yeah. Now,
I
you
was gonna
broke
have
up
a
my
date.
date. Yeah, he kills the robots. He's ignoring the Watcher. The Watcher has to reach down and grab him. And just like the girly scream of surprise, like
Yeah. It's pretty
yeah,
awesome knowing that it's actually Chris Hemsworth voicing him too. So it's like,
yeah. And once again, you can tell that it's a actor, not a voice actor, voicing the characters. That's my only big stickle about the episodes.
I think Lake Bell killed it though as Black Widow. Like she did a fantastic job.
Mm. Jesse says, "You kill one Tony Stark, and it's all anyone remembers." Yeah, that's kind of true because Tony Stark's kind of a big deal in the Marvel universe.
But we killed them all.
Yeah. So we've got Tony Stark dying via zombies. We've got Tony Stark dying via Hank Pym. So I would say, and then Ultron kills him. We see Killmonger kill him. How else did he die in this series?
Ultron killed him. Killmonger killed him. Hank
Zombies kill him.
Zombies. Might have been it. He wasn't in every episode.
Yeah. Well, if anyone's my goat, it's Killmonger because he did it in like epic fashion. You know.
Yep.
He killed Rhodey, then he goes in and kills Tony, and he monologues to Tony
and Tony and Rhodey. Like he's a bad dude.
Doctor Strange getting the beer for Thor was very reminiscent of Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And then we also got a very Thor 1-esque attitude as he finishes the beer and slams it across the room, just breaking the mug. Trying to think. And then we get the Guardians of the Multiverse.
Yeah, the Watcher explains the plan.
It's funny. Plan. The Watcher is the cosmic Nick Fury.
Yeah. I think like very interesting to note that like the Watcher like just kind of like teleported everybody except for Thor. Like Thor he actually picked up and like Thor's killing robots at that point and brings one of the Ultron heads with him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Killmonger picks up and starts toying around with.
Yeah, because he has his doctorate and everything in robotics. Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting that like Thor brought that Ultron head, and that's what Killmonger starts fiddling with.
It was good for shadowing
later.
So we get them all in the room. They are going through the plan. We see Steve on the wall, and it's so Peggy was like the first one there, and that's why it was modeled after her background.
I guess. Like, I don't know. Doctor Strange says modeled it after your profile.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he didn't do it for anyone else, just her.
Yeah. So I don't know.
And is she Captain Britain at this point?
I think she's just Captain Carter.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, she's got the full British flag on the front and on the shield. So it makes me think that this is the MCU's version of Captain Britain. which I wouldn't have a problem with.
I mean, it's possible. In her What If episode, the shield that Stark makes her has the British flag on it as well.
Mm-hmm. Thor is really quick to point out that he excels in getting unwanted attention, which is mentioned 2 or 3 times during the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, they come up with a plan at the bar, and then they go onto like some plateau, which is supposed to be unpopulated. That way they can like, hang out and wait until they're ready. And so of course Thor's like, for Vegas, and, like shoots a lightning bolt into the sky, which of course draws the attention of Ultron.
Oh yeah.
I did tell
So
you
there-
that I draw unwanted attention.
Yeah. So there was intelligent life here.
Yeah.
It's like, well, not exactly.
Right. And this fight scene was pretty cool. The first fight scene with Ultron, super dope when Strange just like multiplies the hammers. Just a
Yeah.
swarm of Mjolnirs like smashing.
Yeah,
awesome.
Thor goes hammered in from Diablo 2 at this point.
Yeah.
And I like that he augments the team through his spells. He doesn't go right in to try and combat, Ultron. He wants them to play roles, it seems like. We also got what was it, the Infinity Crusher?
Yeah.
Gamora explained that, which the only person who could have built that would have been Stark, I would think. And as soon as the fight starts, Gamora and Killmonger pop out. I mean, they dip. See you on the flip side. And then they're out. And they went to Ultron's real world, his universe, as the rest of the Guardians fought. The combo with the hammers happened, which now, if somebody that's unworthy picks up the hammer, doesn't it immediately drop?
I mean,
or is he still would Thor still be controlling it at that point? Because Peggy grabs it and is whipping around at one point on it. So is Peggy worthy?
No, she grabs one when it's on its way. Like Thor's calling that hammer back to him, and she just like grabs onto the strap and follows it in. So she's not actually lifting it or picking it up or anything. She's just riding it, I would think.
She's just riding it like she rode the Hydra Stomper.
Yeah. That's a good point from Jesse. I think because it's like in the MCU, it's when Odin banishes Thor to Earth that he whispers in the hammer and throws it as well. So, I mean, Thor wasn't banished in this one, so his hammer doesn't have that enchantment on it, actually.
The worthy enchantment?
Yeah. In the comics, it was there already, but in the MCU, in the first Thor movie, when Odin banishes him, he like grabs the hammer. Whosoever holds this hammer, and he throws the hammer too.
No, I don't think that counts because Thor put the hammer on Captain Marvel and she couldn't get up.
See, that's true. Ooh, that's true. That's a hole there. That's a plot hole, though. Because
maybe
like Jesse pointed that out correctly. Like that enchantment, that whosoever holds this hammer, like unless the hammer could only be lifted by Thor, and then like that enchantment meant that Thor had to become worthy to be able to lift it again. Yeah. So it was more, the enchantment was against Thor and not like for other people to have an opportunity. I don't know.
Yeah, the other thing is like maybe Odin whispering to the hammer was Odin whispering Thor is not worthy. and that's why he had to earn it back. I don't know. That is
That's
kind of a little plot hole.
Yeah. It's a good.
Magic does work on Captain Marvel. I'm going to get a lot of flack for mentioning. Well, you know what? We're only going to mention Superman because Chip has to dress up as Superman for losing the bet.
I do.
But Superman, he has a weakness to kryptonite. His other weakness is magic. Magic can hurt him. It is one of the glaring weaknesses that he has also.
Huh. Okay. That's weird. Is that why Shazam can beat him up?
Yeah. That's why Shazam yelling his name and striking him with bolts of lightning really messes him up. It's why there was a DC versus Marvel mashup, right? And in that mashup, Wonder Woman actually picks up the hammer, Thor's hammer. But Thor and Superman get into it, and Thor's holding his ground fairly well because it's a magic hammer.
Huh,
so yeah, there's a whole lot of weird things out there that you wouldn't think would make a great deal of reference to what if, but because this enchantment is there, it does raise that question. Thank you, Jesse, for bringing that question to our attention.
That's a good, that is interesting because, yeah, Jesse had a very good point there that, because this what if Thor didn't get banished, and in the MCU movie, he whispers that enchantment into the hammer when he banishes Thor. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he did drop the hammer on Cap and not let her up. So it's which rule does apply? Interesting.
So they start fighting. They start getting into the in-depth fighting where they are actually working as a cohesive unit, even though they don't know each other's fight patterns. Right. They're working better than the Avengers have, which is weird. We then
was the
get
point. The Watcher handpicked all of the team players.
Yep. We then get Peggy on Star-Lord's back, flying up to get the jump on Ultron, and he snags the Soul Stone from Ultron. And I did like the setup of the stones on Ultron. You only had the 4 across the chest, and then you had the Time Stone hanging down like an amulet right above his sternum.
I noticed that too. I thought that was a good touch, a nice touch.
And then you still had the Mind Stone in the head. Mm-hmm. We then, like I said, we got Sticky Fingers, got the stone. Ultron doesn't realize it right away. Leads to a whole hot potato scramble. Where
they all cut through the portal and end up on his home universe.
Yeah. The choreograph of the fight was, to me, it was very well done. This was a very action-packed laden episode.
Yeah, the hot potato fight scene was epic. It was
all over
probably the best Marvel animation that I've seen. It was just so good. I hope they start doing movies in that style. It was really high production value. When they focused on the stone on the ground and you just see the feet and stuff, that was such a cool, I don't know. It was very reminiscent of the big screen movies that they've been doing of late, where they do really interesting cinematography for some of the fight scenes. It definitely made me think of Suicide Squad when you had that fight scene reflected in the helmet.
Okay.
So it was just a weird angle on the fight. I thought it was really cool just seeing the feet of everybody fighting over the stone.
See, I don't know if I completely agree with the animation. It does have a great style to it. I just feel like it wasn't as sharp as it's just not a sharp looking image to me. Like Thor looks like a baby face in this. It's I get that he is a baby face because he has no beard or anything at this point, but it looked weird. Just the animation style, how they animated the characters, everything worked together smoothly for like their combats. It's just, to me, I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I feel like they could have added more tone to the faces to get more emotion out of them. Like dimples. Dimples could have been a thing. Am I arguing dimples? I'm arguing dimples. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we also see, they meet up with Black Widow. Sorry, I might have to sneeze.
They first get to the universe and they toss the Soul Stone over to Gamora, but Widow like intercepts it on her motorcycle, and then Ultron sucks Widow up to him, and that's when the hot potato starts.
Yeah, and she immediately gets a buff of the armor magic, which, if you looked at the armor magic in slow motion, it's like high fantasy type armor.
It was really cool visual effect when he's casting the armor on all of them, and they all like it like fits a theme for each of them too. Like Captain Carter very much gets like a paladin armor overlay.
T'Challa got a very like kind of Black Panther-esque full plate. Thor got very Viking looking astral projection
with the classic ears,
winged.
Yeah.
Then I don't think I saw Killmonger's or Gamora's really. Gamora's, I think, pretty much matched what she was wearing. And when Black Widow gets hers, you get a very roguish kind of like cowl and leatherish kind of look to it. It's not all bulky like the others. I thought they did a really good job on that.
She gets the rogue outfit.
During this is where that scene came up that Peggy was like, you're Ivan and Alexi's daughter or whatever, and you only trust 3 people in the world, which I believe the 3 people she would trust then is Clint, Yelena. Does she trust Fury though?
Cap Carter wouldn't even know of Yelena's existence at this point.
That's true.
I would say Fury.
Okay, yeah. Fury, Clint, and her, Peggy.
It's a good list of go-tos.
Yeah, so we got that scene. I'm trying to think. Oh, zombies fell. He opened the portal to the zombies.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like, drops the entire planet worth of zombies on top of him, and like he just blows them all up. It wasn't the zombies; it's what came with them. And you get the zombie Scarlet Witch making another appearance. If you notice, when the portal first opens and the zombies first start falling, it's actually zombie Captain America that falls first.
Yeah, Falcon was behind him, and I think the other one might have been Clint. But it's just Cap's torso, I believe.
That's a nice touch. Yeah, that's funny. That's a nice touch. I just noticed the his hat or his helmet, like the A on the helmet. I was like, oh, it's Cap.
Scarlet Witch zombie came with.
Mhm.
and she was blasting the shit out of Ultron until she saw his face, and then zombie recognition was, I don't know if it was recognition or if it was like, oh shit moment, because he was about ready to blow her up.
I almost feel like she
Um,
was confused that he survived the blast, is what it was like. Like, what?
yeah. Um, there's a scene where Black Widow gets or everyone's getting blasted. He unleashes the energy to wipe everything out, and Black Widow's Red Guardian shield that she's using shatters, and Peggy's shield doesn't. And then
Mhm.
she like jumps over to ScarJo. She blips over to
Black Widow.
Black Widow.
And
I was thinking
shields her as
Scarlet
well.
Witch, and then I was trying to say Black Widow, and I was like ScarJo, and I'm like, whatever. Names are names.
Mhm. I loved
Um,
the wait, what?
yeah.
Like blast everybody and then can't understand why they're surviving. I can destroy galaxies with a thought. Why won't you die?
Yeah, yeah. We then get Ultron shot in the eye, but not before Black Widow is riding on the motorcycle, uses Clint's bow to fire the arrow. Peggy runs out the other side of a building, jumps, and I mean, this is like a Hulk-like jump. I mean, she's like really far up
It
there.
was a whole ass jump.
And she makes this jump. She grabs onto Ultron and she pulls back the visor in time for this arrow to hit. And that's some Bard firing the arrow at Smog shit right there. I mean, that shot was like 1 in a million.
Yeah.
To me, it would have been more believable that Clint made that shot, but
She was
for the Black
channeling.
Widow, I would have been happy with someone just like stabbing him in the face with it, not necessarily shooting it, but it was definitely an epic scene there.
Mhm.
That is the immediate point that we get the Arnhem Zola versus Ultron.
That was, yeah.
Who
So confused.
are
Like, who are
you?
you? I'm just
And
a guy.
yeah, it's not even a fight either. I mean, it's literally like, oh, you're gonna find out. And Arnhem Zola is in control fully. It's like you would think that it would have been I would have loved to see like an internal kind of like dream sequence fight between them.
Right. Yeah, like they're the mental projections battling it out. But apparently it was real one-sided. It did not seem like Ultron put up a fight at all. Arnhem was just like, nope, GG. Let me get that body, son.
Yeah. This is also the point where he's down for the count while the fight's going, and Killmonger once again shows he's a villain as he pops up and takes the nanotech as he's figured out how to work Ultron's technology.
Yeah, uses that Ultron drone skull that he had picked up in the bar.
Mm-hmm. And he uses the armor to cover his body. It's not a gauntlet, it's an armor like Ultron's. But then again, Killmonger's just a regular human. And we saw what one Infinity Stone could just do to somebody.
Yeah.
So the fact that I think him already having the Black Panther armor on is helping, because we saw that the power doesn't affect vibranium with the shield not shattering. It doesn't seem like it fully affects it. So I think the Black Panther armor is acting as a further buffer to protect him.
Probably. Well, and it's possible that it's possible that at that point, if you have more than one stone, you could use the power to like kind of
off put.
Yeah, to like kind of defend against the other ones.
That's possible. did you notice right away that he didn't take the Mind Stone?
No, did they leave the Mind Stone in the head?
They left the Mind Stone in Arnhem Zola's head because Arnhem Zola stands up, and we get classic Arnhem Zola here. Well, not classic, but more akin to what he looks like in the comics
the
with
comic
the
look.
TV screen on the chest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when he stands up, Vision or Ultron's eyes are no longer red; they're like white, and the stone is still just set right in the middle. And it's an immediate power struggle over the stones, and that's when they start fighting. They're stuck in the middle, and I think Doctor Strange uses his time stone to lock them in that eternal battle, maybe.
Yeah,
before
it seems
putting
like
him
he
in
does
the
that
bubble.
same shit that he does the same shit that he did to himself. But yeah, it does seem like they're frozen in place inside that little crystal that he forms around them.
Yeah, because we know that he has the crystal on him, because at one point he does use it to stop. Oh, we're missing a lot of stuff actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, we missed the big tentacle scene where he unleashes the tentacles. We miss him reaching up through the time stone with his time stone to grab Ultron's arm. What else was there? He also unleashed the dragons at one point. There's a lot that we missed. The 3 dragon heads to blast that fire at him.
That was on like the plateau before they
started shifting
the portal.
Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely the MVP of the team.
Oh, for sure.
In this instance. And there was actually a point that he kind of looked like Baphomet, I would say. Goatman
when he like full transforms.
Yeah. He looks like a goat head with the rounded horns, the bat wings and everything. And it's when his power starts to not work as well. He's losing concentration or something like that.
He's like manifesting more of the power.
Trying to think. That's
Ultron grows huge and then just gets slammed down by the massive tentacles.
We got an explanation for the Infinity Stones being in multiple timelines. Because Gamora's Infinity Crusher did not destroy them. We learned that every timeline is unique and thus cannot be fully affected by other timelines' gear, I guess.
Yeah, so like, I don't know, different like resonance frequencies and shit are going to be slightly different, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. The slight variations are going to come in to like the high science stuff.
Yeah, it was left a little bit open, and there was definitely maybe some loopholes that were in this episode.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange locks them in the bubble. That's pretty much the end of the combat. Killmonger did offer everyone their greatest wish, basically, and they turned it down.
Yeah. Give us the stones, cousin. I'm not your cousin.
Well, he's not kidding. It's no. And then we go to the endings where they're all blip back to their own worlds, basically, at the exact moment that they left. So Peggy Carter gets kicked in the face right away. But she's happy to see Black Widow. Black Widow doesn't understand why she's so happy to see her. We see Thor with Jane. We see T'Challa and
Peter
Quill, Star-Lord, firing blasters together. So maybe we'll get Peter Quill next season of What If.
Yeah, Peter Quill as like, he
Doctor
goes out into
Strange
space.
calls the Watcher his friend
Mm-hmm.
and is gonna watch over Killmonger and Ultron, Arnhem Zola, for the rest of his life, I guess.
I mean,
Is he now immortal?
I
Or are we gonna see this again in 80 years?
think so. Like, I think that pocket universe is like set aside. I don't think he ages in there.
He also has the time stone.
That too.
So yeah, he's pretty much immortal at this point.
Mm-hmm.
This, I believe the only thing left on the episode was we actually got a post-credit scene.
Yeah, the post-credit scene was pretty awesome. I'm very excited to see, like, I would love to see that as an episode next season.
Mm-hmm.
Because, in the movie, this is where we find Bucky.
Yeah, as
instead,
the Winter Soldier. Maybe
Yeah.
we're gonna get Cap as Winter Soldier, or Cap as, what would it be? Shield Stomper?
I think, I don't know.
Oh, that's a good
I think
name.
Steve
Shield
is definitely,
Stomper.
yeah, it's definitely going to be like Steve frozen inside the Hydra Stomper, which is interesting. It's interesting, like, because of the difference between Steve being the Winter Soldier and the way the Winter Soldier was created in the normal MCU.
Mm.
So, I mean, that would be an interesting episode to see.
Yes. Blah, blah, blah. That was a weird noise. I'm getting a little tired. So you can edit that out.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can probably start to wind it down.
How many watchers for this one?
I mean, I definitely feel like it earned its 10. The fight choreography was insane. The three, like, I really liked in Marvel fashion, there was like 3 different times where the heroes won. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. Like, it was really good. I liked the ending. Nat gets to go to a world without a Black Widow.
That's the one I forgot.
Captain Carter is going to get Steve back eventually. Good resolutions.
Yeah, I think I would give this honestly 9. I don't think I could go the 10. It kept me entertained, but now that I'm thinking about loopholes, it's like some of those kind of knock it off for me.
Yeah, that one plot hole really, I was kind of like, ooh, shucks. Pointed
So,
that one out. That's a good one.
If you had to give a ranking for the whole series, how many what ifs would you give the series as a whole?
What if I gave this whole season a 10?
I'd say that's I can agree with that.
I liked it. It was really good. Not even because there's also like extra. There's like it earns bonus points outside of the episodes itself because for me, having Marvel animation hit this high quality again is really awesome. I grew up on the Saturday morning cartoons talking X-Men and Spider-Man, and like I don't know, Marvel's animated movies were just not cutting it. And I'm really hoping that this is like a signal that they're going to start doing some really like high quality animated movies.
Well, they definitely have the money to back it now.
Yeah. I mean,
so
like, you blow DC out of the water in every category except for your animated stuff. Why don't you just step up your animated stuff? And so I really liked this whole season. It was really top notch for me. Even the episodes that you guys were complaining about, I was like, nope, I was on board for that. So
And now that the series is wrapped up, I do feel like the series as a whole was very much better because it had an actual overarching storyline throughout it.
oh yeah, an overarching villain per se.
No. An overarching story, because each episode built up a member of the Guardians of the Multiverse.
True.
So it was not just, a one and done. It's we got them back. It fleshed out their characters before we just threw them into the Guardians of the Multiverse.
Right.
So it made some of their motivations and character play much more prevalent in this episode to me.
Yeah.
So that definitely, I think I could go with you on a 10. Even the zombies coming back and the way they were used redeemed that episode a little bit for me. So I will agree with you on your rating.
Right on.
You're still wearing the Superman costume.
That's fine. I'll go ahead and get that thrown together for the next episode.
Maybe for the series premiere of Hawkeye, or is Moon Knight coming out next? Oh, Hawkeye. No, it's Hawkeye.
It's gotta be Hawkeye. That's coming out like quite soon, I believe.
Now, there is no real Marvel movies coming out anytime soon. December, I think, is Spider-Man is the next one.
Is Spider-Man before Eternals?
No, Eternals is the next one. You November. Are right. So we've got about a month. So I was thinking maybe for next episode, we do a short watch over of some 90s animation or 90s series or earlier series. We'll figure something out, but we are going to have a surprise for all you marvelous monsters out there.
Yeah, maybe we'll watch some David Hasselhoff as Nick Furious. Maybe we'll watch that old classic made-for-TV Captain America versus Red Skull.
Maybe some Japanese awesome. Spider-Man.
Maybe. That's always high quality.
But with that, do you have any shout-outs, I guess?
I do not. No real major shout-outs. Just want to basically just give a shout-out to the rest of the network. Say what up to the Twist My Arm guys out there. Another big shout-out to Josh. Thanks for getting all this together. Thanks for keeping the wheels moving all the time. So, yeah.
Definitely an inspiration to the network. We would not have any of these podcasts without you. Thank you. Jesse from Sudden But Inevitable. Thank you for stopping in tonight. Again, go check them out. You can find more information about them on twistmyarmpodcast.com. Ricky D from Best Flicks with Ricky D. Great show. Go check that out. There's the new show, The Intrepid DM Journeys. You can check that out. That's featuring me and random DMs that I find. And then I think Quest Me is still going on, but Quest Me might be on a hiatus. I'm not quite sure. We will have more information on that.
I think that I think there's another live action Star Wars coming out soon, so I think that they'll probably be back soon.
Yeah. I know we got the Star Wars Visions, and I think we were going to do a special episode with the whole network. But once again, that's primarily discussion. So, yeah. Anything else, Chip?
God, nothing really. I just basically we can probably go ahead and close it out unless you have any final thoughts. Just a big thank you to all the listeners out there from me.
Yes. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for joining us again. It's been a pretty fun 25 episodes. I feel like we got another 25 in the tank, so we'll just keep plugging away. How's that?
Yeah. Sounds pretty good. Someone will light a fire under us and we'll get another 50 maybe.
Absolutely. Right on. Well, I think we're going to call it there. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you next time, you marvelous monsters.
Have a good night. This is Roy.
I'm Chip. Adios.